Did you know that most people gain 10 to 15 pounds during the holiday season at the end of every year? And after helping transform over 1,200 clients over the last 16 years as a professional coach, I'll give you the 6 lessons that I wish I learned earlier that are guaranteed to help you be in that 1% of people who not only not gain weight, but actually lose weight before January 1st, 2025. And make sure to stick to the end, because lesson number 6 is the exact opposite advice from what all the fitness gurus are telling you, and I guarantee you it's going to be a game changer. But before we go into the actual lessons, let me answer the question, which is, what is the real biggest problem of most people gaining, a lot of weight in the last few weeks of the year? And it's actually not that, gaining 5 or 10 or 15 pounds of weight is going to negatively affect your health, your confidence, pretty much everything. Yes, we know that. But the real issue is the scientific studies have shown now that the weight gain, what they call the holiday weight gain, is actually contributing to over 50 to 60% of the annual weight gain, which means, in plain English, that the weight that people gain in the holiday season of the last, let's say 4 to 5 weeks of every year, they gain it and never lose it. It basically stays forever. So imagine an average person gaining 10 pounds per year and never losing it. 5 years later, they're now 50 pounds overweight. This is actually one of the studies have shown that this is one of the biggest contributors to the overall obesity pandemic that we've been facing for the last several decades. And this is the reason why I want you to be in the less than 1% of people who don't gain weight, and these 6 lessons are going to help you avoid the almost inevitable weight gain. So lesson number 1 is you can gain a lot of weight in the last few weeks of the year, just like you can gain in the last few weeks of any time of any year, because New Year is actually not around the corner when it comes to gaining weight. Please remember, our ancestors, hundreds of thousands and millions of years ago, used to live in the jungle. And one of the most common ways to die was actually starvation. Like there's no food for 6 months, for example, and we starve and die. So our brains have evolved over millions of years to avoid starvation as one of the greatest dangers out there. This is one of the many reasons why it's infinitely easier to gain weight than it is to actually lose weight. So for example, somebody's saying, well, now it's mid-November, New Year's almost there, I can eat pretty much anything I want, it's just not long enough for me to gain any weight. Well, if you just look around and see that people are gaining a lot of weight, and most people are gaining a lot of weight, you can see that it's not true. So please don't think that New Year's around the corner, because it might be in our brain kind of like idea of like, oh, time flies, and it does. But when it comes to gaining weight, it's more than enough time to gain way too much weight. And this actually leads us straight to our lesson number 2, which is that mindset of, oh, I can just relax, veg out, eat like a pig, eat pretty much everything I want, because come January 1st, I'm going to hit that New Year's resolution diet, and then I'm going to lose all the weight, and even if I gain 10 pounds here, I'm going to lose that too. Well, that's a wonderful idea, but we know in reality how many people actually fail their New Year's resolutions. They start a diet and quit within 5 days, within a week or 2, just like most people, joining the gym come first week of January. Come third week of January, 99% of those people are not in the gym anymore. So please remember, in any case, it doesn't actually matter the last few weeks of the year, this holiday season. It's not that. The mindset of, hey, there's only a few weeks until X, only a few weeks until my birthday, only a few weeks until Independence Day, 4th of July, whatever it is, you can always gain a lot of weight, like anywhere from 5 to 15 or more pounds in 4 to 5 weeks of eating anything you want. So please, that mindset is something you want to ditch completely. Lesson number 3 is to continue exercising. Now, I know this sounds like, oh, duh, of course, but there are actual reasons and justifications that would be valid if you think about, okay, at least if you live in some area of the world where, for example, in Bosnia now, it is 28 degrees outside and it is snow. Like, we have snow, ice, it's really cold, you can't even walk outside. So of course you can't do any exercise outside. I love to mountain bike. There's not going to be any biking for 3 to 4 months from now, at least, probably more. So because of this, studies have shown most people exercise less. If they exercise a little bit, they now exercise less. If they haven't worked out at all, now they certainly don't start now because they're waiting for that January New Year's resolution. So please, if you're already exercising, continue at the same level. Or if you are not exercising, now is a great time to start, not waiting to gain 10 pounds and then in January be like, oh, I should have done that mid-November. Okay, now is that time. Start exercising right now. And this leads us to a very, very adjacent fourth lesson, which is you gotta control your calories in some way. Going back to the mindset of, oh, I can eat anything I want, it doesn't matter, it's only 4 to 5 weeks. We always have to control our calories in some way. Now, of course, by far the best, most effective way to control your calories is to actually use one of the apps and track your food, because the apps do all the math for you. You don't have to track your calories. You just put the food that you eat in there. The app does all of it for you. The breakdown of calories, macros, you do it all. There's millions of free apps. I suggest MyFitnessPal, not affiliated in any way. You can use any other app. It doesn't matter. They all do the same thing. And you don't need any paid versions of these. Free versions are just fine. But you have to find some way to control your calories. If you don't want to track it, I do suggest you track it. But if you really, really, really are adamant about, no, I don't want to track it, you can use any other method that works for you. Some people eat once a day, and that's how they control their calories. I don't suggest that. That is not a sustainable strategy for the rest of your life. Therefore, whatever you do that is not for the rest of your life, you're just going to gain it back, when you stop doing that. But if that works for you, awesome, do that. Or some people like to fast. I don't suggest that either. But again, if you find that fasting helps you to control your calories, great, do that. In any other way, it doesn't matter, there's hundreds of other ways to control your calories. Whichever one of them works for you, do that, but make sure that you still control during these last few weeks. It's actually now probably way more important than ever in the other part of the year, simply because we generally eat more, all the great food, all the parties and holiday, get-togethers and everything else, and we exercise less for many reasons, one of them being cold, or maybe we're lazy, we're like, oh, it's the end of the year, I just want to chill out. So make sure that, lesson 3, you're exercising. Lesson 4 is that you gotta control your calories in some way. Lesson 5, that goes straight with these, is you find ways to increase your overall daily steps. Now, this is one of the parts of the calorie expenditure every day, which is called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Generally, we put steps into that, which means overall activity, meaning you're physically doing something, but you're not officially exercising. That's why it's called non-exercise, right? So, for example, let's say you wash your car, you do the dishes, you buy food, you clean your house, maybe you can use a standing desk. If you stand for a minute versus sit for a minute, you burn 1 extra calories. And you can say, oh, what is that 1 extra calorie? That's nothing. What if you work for 8 hours a day and 5 of those 8 you are standing because you have a standing desk? That's 5 hours times 60 minutes. That's 300 minutes. That's 300 calories that you burned extra that you didn't do anything for. You didn't use more time. You didn't, go exercise. You didn't need to do cardio. It's 300 calories that you basically burned just by standing versus sitting. And I'll tell you, it adds up. So please make sure that, or you can do a treadmill desk. A lot of people work on a computer or something else while walking on their desk. That's actually a pretty good idea. I've never used it, but I use a standing desk all the time. So any of these options, any other way that you can find to be more active, because please remember, 5 or 10 or 12,000 steps, it makes a big difference. Not only that these more steps burn more calories, every 1,000 steps is roughly 50 calories. So 10,000 steps, 500 calories. Does that, accumulate and go into our overall math equation to help you not be in a surplus and not gain weight? Absolutely. 10,000 steps with 500 calories is a lot. That's pretty good, okay? And also studies have shown now, at the end of 2024, now we have way more than enough studies that have shown that anywhere from 2 to 5 to 7 to 10 to 12 to 16,000 steps per day, there is linear correlation with more steps means better health outcomes and longer you live. So literally, 12,000 steps better than 10,000. 10,000 better than 7, 7 better than 5, etc. So the more steps you do, not only that you burn more calories and therefore it's easier to not gain weight, maybe even lose weight, but you actually end up healthier and living longer the more steps you do. So please find ways. Yes, of course, it's going to take time. It's probably going to take 8 to 10 minutes of walking for every 1,000 steps, but you can have maybe 10-minute walks, whether it be in the house or outside, in the office, anywhere, several times a day, and it adds up. Again, more the better. I suggest anywhere from 8 to 10,000 steps to most of my clients. That's what I suggest you do as well. And final lesson number 6 is the opposite of what every fitness guru is telling you, which is what they tell you is track calories every single day forever, try to be perfect, never eat a pizza, that's processed, bad for you, never have a beer, never have ice cream, never have any kind of sweets. This is utter BS. Even if we could be like robots, which you really couldn't and shouldn't, but let's say you want to be like a robot and you say, I don't care, my whole family got together and they're all going to eat some, apple pie or pumpkin pie. Well, I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to be like a robot. I'm going to say I'm going to track my calories and I'm going to be healthy because that's all processed food. I don't think that's a way to live, because we should enjoy our life. The reason to say that is because we have Thanksgiving dinner one day or one night. We have Christmas night. We have New Year night. These are 3 individual days. What you do 3 days doesn't matter compared to what you do the rest of the year, or even the rest of these, let's say 5 or 6 weeks that we have until the end of this year before January 1st comes. 3 days don't matter. And of course, within that time, there's going to be some more family get-togethers. A kid is going to have a birthday party. Something's going to happen. There's going to be more than 3 days. I understand that. And you don't have to eat whatever you want on all of those. But let's say if you said these 3, Thanksgiving night, Christmas Day or Christmas night, and New Year's night, I don't care what I eat. I'm going to eat whatever the hell I want, and I'm going to enjoy it because life is made to be joyful, like you should enjoy it. So that's not to say, let's go out of our way, because of course this is the internet, people are incredibly stupid, and of course when you say something like this, somebody goes, this coach said we should all eat 20,000 calories every of these days. No, that's not what I said. If somebody's that stupid, you just can't help them. What I am saying is, I want you to relax and enjoy time with your family. This is what I tell my clients that I work with one-on-one is relax. There are ways that we can make that day, whatever you eat, even still be within the calories, but you don't have to do that. I just want you to enjoy it. If you can get a workout in on that day, awesome, go do that. If you can go and play in the snow, or maybe you live in Florida or some kind of area where it's not really snow, it's actually warm, then you can go outside and do whatever you want. Just do more steps and or a workout, and then eat whatever you want at night, it's going to be fine. But the point is, I want you to enjoy, relax. Whether you track food on that day, I actually suggest to my clients not to track the food. Why would you? Again, you can. I'm not against it, but you don't really have to. So, and please remember, when it comes to tracking, everybody says, I don't want to track my food for the rest of my life. I'd be like, I don't want it either. The last time I tracked my food was 2007, so that was 17 years ago. You track food until you learn to guesstimate the number of calories you consume without tracking. That skill is the most important one. So those are the 6 lessons. If you like these lessons and you'd like to check out a group of successful business professionals and entrepreneurs who are on this journey, go check out rippedceo.com, and that's where you can join the community of people who are on their way of getting their absolute, strongest, leanest, healthiest, highest performing, high energy body. So you can join it there. Or if you want to work one-on-one with us, you can check out the link below. Book a call with me or somebody on my team. Our coaching program is called Guaranteed Ripped. In the last 16 years, we have transformed over 1,200 clients. And that's why our system is called Guaranteed Ripped, because we guarantee results. So if you are interested in that, click the link below, book a call to speak with me or somebody on my team. And if you join a couple of months from now, you'll be in by far the best shape of your life. So those are the 6 lessons. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.